For more than 2 decades, a football Sunday was not complete without watching John Madden and Pat Summerall. And coming next week, the release of a new book examining their rise to the #1 broadcast team in television. Still, as Rich Podolsky, the author, describes in this book, this pairing almost did not happen.
It was really because of a partying lifestyle of another broadcast team that really was the genesis for all of this. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. You know, Pat Summerall had 6 great years with Tom Brookshire, and they would party together on and off the field, and that was part of the problem. And the new president of CBS Sports, a guy named Van Gordon Sauter, came in and he decided he didn't want to put up with the drinking episodes that kept coming back to him and the escapades. So his new executive producer, Terry O'Neill, said, well, who do you want? And he said, well, I want this guy, John Madden, to be my analyst, my #1 analyst. And O'Neill said, he's only been with CBS 2 years, and there hasn't been a game that he's done that's gone back to New York. Have you seen any of his games on tape? And Van Gordon Sauter said, oh, no. But I know he's the guy. Well, how do you know he's the guy? I've seen him 30 seconds at a time in the Miller Lite commercials.
Like beer from Miller, everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
As I was saying, I don't care what anybody else.
When I think of John Madden, certainly you think of the boom and the pow, but also the telestrator. Without the telestrator, does John Madden become John Madden, the iconic broadcaster, without that telestrator?
He probably does anyhow, but it happened to fall in the lap of the CBS executive producer, Terry O'Neill. Some weather people came up with it. And Madden had been always complaining to O'Neill that you guys don't show the game. You show 3 against 3 or 4 against 4. We never see why a play happened because we can't see 11 against 11. Well, the telestrator allowed him to do that and he did it in such a fun, iconic way that he became America's Nutty Professor.
He did indeed. And how close were Pat and John away from the booth? And what did Pat Summerall think about all the attention John Madden received? Our entire conversation based on Madden and Summerall, the new book. That conversation is coming to KHOU 11+.